You know who
good.
the girl in the video, I believe, was from the Cosby Show? Rudy.
Really?
Rudy Huxtable.
Oh, my.
That was a girl, I think, if I'm not mistaken, YouTube, correct me if I'm wrong.
957
when music videos were hot.
Yes.
Creative.
Do they still do that? Like music
I don't
videos,
know.
are they still hitting? Because like you had MTV at VH1, and now it's just like I'm watching
BET.
TRL.
TRL. Yeah, totally. That was must see TV after school.
I mean, you had Rhapsody in the Basement.
Yeah.
Big Tigger.
Yeah.
106 in Park.
Now it's just like, reality TV, right? Real Housewives of whatever.
Yeah.
Or,
I think it was Rudy Huxtable, who was the girl who was one call away. They were at like basketball court or whatnot.
I believe you.
Yeah, it was Rudy. Yep, Loco
There you
Moco.
go.
Shout out to Loco_Moco.
Chingy had a moment.
Chingy had a moment.
He had a moment.
I think he had like a fake beef with Nelly or something.
Did he?
Like that.
Ah,
It was kind of weird.
Nelly has
Weird
some-
rap beef.
that is a weird rap beef. Probably forced, like a lot of them are today,
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah.
It's for the clout. Now everyone's friends.
Hey, Alex, you're right. The Baby does have some good music videos. I have checked it out. Very good. The Holiday Inn.
Yeah, chilling at the Holiday Inn. Come
Chilling at
on,
the Holiday
Come
Inn.
on.
Shout out to the Holiday Inn, but shout out to the Hilton.
Oh,
Hilton.
that's where it's at. Isn't it a Holiday under Hilton? Am I tripping?
Maybe.
888-957-9570. But we love the Hilton in Santa Clara specifically. Yeah, I was an X. I tried to force it there. That wasn't hidden. So I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I can't wait to talk to
Ahead.
Kyle Nelson here in a few minutes. D-backs pitcher and San Francisco native, Bonte.
Yeah. So his senior year at Galileo High School, because he was a football and baseball star.
Galileo.
His senior year, he accounted for 58 touchdowns. In the city championship Turkey Day, which is a big deal here in the city, the Academic Athletic Association City Championship. And I know my guys at Lincoln, Coach Ferrigno and company, may want to turn off the radio. But Kyle Nelson lit your ass up that day. I love you, Coach Ferrigno. 34-30 against Lincoln. Galileo ran that day in a 34-30 win. You know how many plays they ran?
I don't know. Was this like a Chip Kelly type of offense?
25 plays. Because Lincoln would run the ball,
Just
run
run-
the ball, run the ball,
And that was
run the
it?
ball. And Galileo's spread offense and just throw the ball all around the yard.
Oh, my God.
My guy Kyle Nelson produced 5 touchdowns.
That's pretty wild.
Pretty wild.
That is. Man, do you think Kyle Shanahan should bring him into training camp?
Kyle Nelson, hell yeah, why not? He had an arm. Guy started at quarterback as a sophomore. I remember covering his first game as a sophomore at Galileo. Had the long hair, like Sunshine from Remember the
Oh, yeah.
Titans.
Oh,
had
yeah.
the braces.
There you go.
Probably weighed about 120 pounds.
Soaking wet.
Now he's throwing heat on the mound for the Diamondbacks.
He's having a great year, too.
5-2 this year, 2.85 ERA. He's pitching to some big spots for the Arizona Diamondbacks as they're still in this wild card race. A tough loss for him last night, but we got to give our city native some city love here. Kyle Nelson on the Morning Rose. We did it last year with him. We're doing it again, and it's good to see him pitch at Oracle Park. He had a great performance on Monday with the 1 strikeout, didn't allow a run. Kyle, good morning, man. Welcome back. How you doing, brother?
I'm good, man. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. We're just going over it because people don't know, man, and you're a reliever, and, you know, a lot of people in baseball are like, man, who are these relievers? But we kind of we follow you all season long, and you're pitching well with the Diamondbacks. It feels like you solidified a spot in that bullpen. 5-2 record this year, 2.85 ERA, and I know it felt damn good to go out there Monday night at Oracle Park and shut out the Giants in front of your family and friends.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I felt like that was a big spot to be in, which obviously are the most fun ones. And then for us to pull out that win as well, that was the best part of the whole night.
No doubt, pulling out that win in extra innings. Now you guys have lost 2 in a row to the Giants in heartbreaking fashion. They're a very competitive series. You guys are trying to get the split. But what is it like, man, for you to be in the pennant race? You're a city native. You watch the Giants growing up. You follow the Lincecums, the Canes, the Bumgarners. Must be pretty cool to be pitching in big spots here in August.
Yeah, you can definitely feel it for sure. I remember I was telling my brother after that first night, like there was definitely a different feel on the mound and just the intensity. And then, I mean, obviously it's a really, really good fan base out here, so they'll make sure they let you hear it. So it's been I hadn't really had an inning where, like, you know, the whole inning you can hear them kind of yelling and making their noise. Usually you gotta give them a reason to get loud, but they were loud the whole time. So you can definitely feel the intensity in there coming into August.
So San Francisco natives, tell us a little about yourself, Kyle. So you grew up Giants fan, grew up Niners fan. Were you A's, Raiders? Like, what were your teams growing up here in the Bay Area?
Yeah, it was. I mean, Niners, Giants, and Warriors. That was the trio.
Okay, there you go. Big Bonds guy, or were you Jeff Kent? Who was your guy growing up for the Giants?
My guy was Tim Lincecum.
Oh,
that was the dude. So
the freak.
I was trying to do everything. That had something to do with the long hair, for sure.
No, for sure. No, absolutely. No, and we're talking about, you're playing for the Arizona Diamondbacks and, a little off the field here, but just the adjustment, going from a different market like that. And listen, I'm talking about the Heat over in Arizona specifically.
Yeah.
Like, what's been the biggest adjustment for you being a Bay Area guy, living in a place, I don't know, like in Arizona, you're drafted by Cleveland, like the biggest adjustment off the field for you, Kyle?
I'd say it was a much bigger adjustment, like starting pro ball when I got drafted by Cleveland. Just like a complete change of scenery. Going to the Midwest, it's just a different style of living out there. Since we did like spring training in Arizona, I'd actually spent a lot of time out there, so it was luckily for me, playing in Arizona actually was one of the easier like transitions. Just because I'd spent a lot of time, I already had some like routines and places I knew the areas of the city I knew I wanted to live in and restaurants and stuff like that. So, and then lucky for us, like we do spring training and play the season in the same place. So that's obviously super rare for in this sport, not having to move. So that's actually been like really, really nice about being there.
Kyle Nelson here on Warner Russell on
115 degrees though, real quick, Kyle.
Yeah.
It's been
my girl was just there.
Fuego
yeah, my girl was just there
Arizona.
for a bachelorette party.
Once you hit the middle of the summer, you're going apartment, car, and to the field, like wherever you got to eat. You're not spending more than about a minute walking on the street.
For sure.
I tried had to be 3 weeks ago. I tried to do like a morning hike type thing, and I got like 5 minutes in, and I was just bolted back to the car.
Oh my God.
Not a good idea.
That was me starting hot yoga one time. Never did it again,
Yeah,
but
no,
I
I
sweated like 3 different pounds off my body.
Yeah, hot yoga didn't work out well for your boy. Man, 112 last weekend in Arizona. I don't blame you, Kyle. You're a city kid, too. I know you're used to wearing hoodies like we all are in the summer, man. So being back here, when you hit the mound or you're pitching to the pin or you're warming up, do you ever gloss over at the seats that you used to sit at as a kid? Because I know you probably sat all over the place at Oracle Park. You kind of just look around and like, damn, I should be there eating garlic fries.
Yeah, I definitely do. It happens more like in the pregame stuff, and then when I'm sitting down in the bullpen kind of looking around and like almost like imagine myself back as a fan, and then obviously once it's time to go, it's just like any other game, really. I try to eliminate as much as I can of how big it is, I guess, to be in the stadium and actually on that mound.
What are the ticket requests like for you when you come back to town?
It's not too bad. I've got a good process now. I just kind of like text my immediate family, so it's like ask my mom, dad, brother, the people who are here, and then ask them how many they need because they'll spread the love around for me. So I'm not getting the request really specifically to me. I put it on them, kind of thing.
That's cool, man. How about your former teammates, man, at Galileo, or your fellow classmates, man? Because you guys were tight. I remember when you guys were sophomores, you moved up to varsity. You and all those receivers, Todd Holland, Dontel Jackson, Isaac Armstrong, a lot of those guys. You still keep in touch with those guys?
Yeah. I mean, I'm still, hearing from Dontel probably once, twice a week. We went to kindergarten together, so we go way back. He's been at the games, and then, we still talk to the same crew, same people. Obviously less than before, just because all our lives go a little bit different ways. But I mean, every time we see each other, it's like we've seen each other every day. Nothing really changes in that regard.
Talking to Kyle Nelson here, reliever for the Arizona Diamondbacks, product of Galileo High School here in San Francisco.
Spadoni, that's my rival school. I went to Washington, so
Is it?
It was tough for me to cover those teams to see them win championships. Although, I got to say, man, I always say this whenever we bring your name up. It's fascinating to me. And I remember the game like it was yesterday. You guys ran 25 plays in the Turkey Day Championship, and you won 34-30. And people don't realize this, man. I'm sure your teammates probably like, wait, you played quarterback? But you accounted for 58 touchdowns your senior year. You remember all that?
Oh, I definitely remember. Yeah. I don't forget that. Trust me, I've let a few of the teammates know. I say because I don't play anymore, so it kind of gives me an opportunity, something to brag about. But it caught wind, like, I think last year, some of those football numbers. And,
Yep.
yeah, it was kind of fun to talk about. And they were a little surprised at first, but now they see it.
Well, 11 pass attempts in that Turkey Day, Spadoni. Kyle Nelson, 8 of 11. And now in my article, I had 247 yards. Mitch Stevens from Max Preps jobbed you out of 5 yards. He had you at 242. But 8 of 11, 240, I'll say 247, 5 touchdowns.
Sounds like you'd fit in perfectly with the 49ers quarterback situation. What's going on there, Kyle? You following along? What's going on in training camp out in Santa Clara? You must have loved seeing Brock Purdy shine last year.
Yeah, that was definitely awesome. I have been paying attention to it, reading up a little bit on it. It sounds to me like they got a plan in place, obviously, as long as Purdy's elbow's all good, and I think it's a good one. So, yeah, yeah, it was fun, man. It was fun watching. Obviously a disappointing end last year.
Yeah.
But that organization's in a fantastic spot.
They are. Who do you want to see start? Because there's been a lot of conversation. You know, they brought in Sam Darnold, and obviously you're a huge 49er fan. So they brought in Sam Darnold. You obviously traded a bunch to get Trey Lance. Do you think it should be Brock Purdy starting week 1, though?
I do. I mean, I think he obviously earned that right. He did it in the most critical times of the season. He did it in some of the most critical games. Like, he is the one, you know, so far in that room that has done the job in the season at the best visibility. So, I think he's earned that right to start the year.
All right, I know you got to get ready for a big game today coming up here at 12:45, but let's have some quick hitters here. Let's have some fun, Kyle. We're having some fun earlier. Spadoni's about 10 years younger than me. You know, I'm an old fogey. Hell, I was old when I was covering you in high school. So are you a texter or caller when courting a woman? When you're courting a woman on a date, I know this is a little maybe a little uncomfortable, but are you a texter or caller? Because I like the call. I like that voice to voice.
We're texters, Kyle. Come on, we're texters.
Go with the call.
Oh,
That's my man, Kyle. That's a real city native right there. That's what I'm talking about.
I mean, come on, you got to use the charm with the voice.
Kyle, you haven't seen my emoji game. Otherwise, you would change your mind. Real quick, what was your first kind of bleep moment on the mound? Who were you facing against? Where you're like, oh my God, I'm going up against so-and-so right now.
Oh, that's a good one. I mean, I'd probably have to say Freddie Freeman.
Oh,
he's just like, yeah, he gets the best of me. He's got the best of me quite. I got him the first time. I remember I got him the first time I faced him last year, and then since then he's been getting the best of me. But I mean, he's obviously been doing it so good.
Have you had the pleasure of facing Shohei Ohtani yet in the bigs?
I did, yeah.
How'd that go?
I got put on a highlight tape with him. So I almost, man, I had him in the 1-2 count. I got the big swing and miss to get there, and then I didn't execute, and that's the wrong guy to miss to for sure. So,
how many feet did that baseball go, Kyle?
How far did it go? It was in the 450s, I think.
One of those ones you don't even look back, right? You just say, give me the ball.
I think if you find the video of it, I don't even watch it. Right when you hear the sound, I just put my head down. Like, man, I know that's going on ESPN.
Oh man, hey Kyle, I guess Freddie Freeman in because we're going to ask you a question about the division, right? What hitter in the division do you hate facing the most? And I'm guessing then when you brought up Freddie Freeman, that's the guy then that you probably hate facing the most, huh?
Yeah, I'd say so far it's been him. Yeah, he's been a nuisance for sure. But I'm at least trying to figure it out. So hopefully I can get him. I think we got them coming up here pretty soon. So.
Yeah, well, you're having a hell of a season, man. You're having a hell of a season. 2.85 ERA, and we love seeing you at the yard. I know Lubman was running around there. We love watching you pitch, and we just love the story, man. You're one of ours, man. You're from the 415. You're a city guy, AAA, public school system, and you're a hell of a story, man. So we're going to keep track of you wherever you go, whether it's with the Diamondbacks, if you move on. But we hope to see you in the playoffs. You're doing a hell of a job. Again, 2.85 2.85 ERA, and you were a damn good quarterback. I tell people all the time, you may have been better in football, man. You were throwing dimes as a quarterback.
He's getting Mahomes
No
comps
doubt.
on the text line.
Getting Mahomes comps on our YouTube page right now. They're saying, man, this Kyle Nelson guy can throw. So, anything? Are you growing the hair back out anytime soon, or is this hair done? Or are you done with that?
No, the hair's done. It's not getting any longer than it is right now.
Well, you see the weather in Arizona. I don't blame you,
Yeah,
man.
well, yeah. You can go ponytail out there with the tank top. Anyway, man, I know your family's proud of you. I know your big bro's proud of you. I know you'll be back in the city during the off season, so we'll do it again. Maybe we'll have you in studio and just talk shop because, as you said, I know you're a big Warriors fan. Real quick before we let you go, Chris Paul, how you feeling about that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously a great player as well. I'm interested to see what they do with that dynamic now.
Yeah.
Might get Curry off the ball a little more, I would assume, but we'll see. Yeah, I'm very interested to see what they do. Obviously, Kerr's going to do a good job.
He knows what he's
He
talking
does.
about right here.
That's a Bonte special right
That
there.
is,
Curry
that
off
is
the ball
right
with Chris
there.
Paul.
Yeah, Curry off the ball, man. So we'll see. Kyle, continue the great stuff, man. We're proud of you. We'll hope to see you pitch today in a getaway day, and we'll follow you throughout your career, man. You're one of ours, so we always appreciate the time.
I really appreciate that, man. It's always good talking to you guys.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Kyle.
Kyle Nelson,
That was
reliever
awesome.
for the Arizona Diamondbacks, but
was
by
awesome.
way of Galileo High School. Galileo's 5 minutes away from us,
Really?
right here in North Beach. And it's a unique school, the football field. So you can get to the football field by going underground from the building. And their football field used to be like 95 yards. Wasn't even 100 yards,
wow.
but it's right there.
So it's tight.
It's tight, really compact. But, man, it used to be one of the toughest places to play as a high school. The crowd gets right on top of you. You can hear Galileo High School when they're warming up in the background. You don't see them. You just hear them hooting and hollering.
That's cool.
And they would come out, man, and, I mean, they had some really good teams, man. So he had a really good year his senior year. They won Turkey Day. To see him kind of grow up like that as a sophomore to junior to a senior and progress, and now you see him in Major League Baseball.